Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This video is my review for the second episode of the first season of DC Stargirl. First of all, I have to say that I'm watching the version airing on the CW or on the CW app, so there are probably some scenes that I didn't see, so that might affect my review based on other information we could have gotten in those scenes. Anyway, back to Stargirl. This episode continued being as great as last episode, this time giving a bit more focus on Pat, obviously based on the title, and continuing to build his relationship with Courtney, while introducing us to our antagonists. So the plot of the episode was that Pat tracks down Courtney and tries to stop her from being a superhero, deciding that he's gonna deal with Brainwave himself. However, Courtney doesn't listen and becomes Stargirl, and then they must team up to take on Brainwave. The episode started off right where we left off last week, with Pat as S.T.R.I.P.E finding Courtney after her fight with Brainwave. So first of all, the CGI for S.T.R.I.P.E looked amazing, and it was especially impressive how good it looked later on in the daylight. The show continued to have a different feeling from all the other DC shows. People say that Titans is so different from the Arrowverse, but I like both the Arrowverse and Titans, but Titans just feels like an R-rated Arrowverse show. Other than swearing all the time, there's not much of a difference, especially in the writing. Stargirl, however, has a cinematic feel and more of a family-centric feeling that separates it from the rest of the DC shows. Anyway, I love seeing Courtney and Pat bond and get closer this episode, although it does feel a bit quick. This last episode she still hated him. But I like the scene where they were both trying to hide what they were doing from the mom, and they both said that they fell down the basement stairs. I'm curious if Barbara's gonna find out what's going on soon, because first of all, it's got to be harder to hide it when it's two people rather than one like Spider-Man with Aunt May. But also because of her job, and she seems to be noticing that something is going on there. And there was also that Nintendo Switch product placement with the little brother who did nothing this episode. Later on, we got another scene at the school, and this time we saw Beth eating lunch while video chatting with her parents, and it turned out that her mom works with Brainwave. I thought that either Brainwave or Courtney would notice each other for the camera during the scene, but that didn't happen. However, the scene where they finally met was great, and you could really feel the tension in that scene. However, he quickly learned her secret identity, so I was wondering what was going to happen with that, because this is just the second episode, and the person who I thought was the main villain already knows who she is. This eventually led to the fight scene between S.T.R.I.P.E and Brainwave, as he went to take him down because he was threatening to kill Barbara. Meanwhile, we got a pretty good scene between Courtney and her mom. Then we got our first appearance of Stargirl with a great superhero landing, but I like that they still show her struggling after that, because she's literally just become a hero. It's her first day with an official name and costume. She shouldn't be able to immediately defeat Brainwave. The fight felt pretty short to me, but it was still pretty good and the effects were good. However, I was surprised that Brainwave was defeated this early in the show, especially because at first I thought he actually died, but then he turned out to just be in a coma. Although I should have seen it coming because, like I said, he already knew her secret identity and he was way too powerful. What I'm curious about now is where they're gonna go with his son, because earlier in the episode it seemed like Brainwave was trying to see if Henry has the same powers as him. Now that his father is in a coma, I wonder if they'll pull a Harry Osborn and have him take on his father's mantle and seek revenge from Stargirl, if it turns out he does have those powers. Later on, Pat mentioned Ted Knight and said that was a story for another time. I don't know who this is, but I researched the character and it turns out he's the original Starman, so I wonder if they'll explore that later on, or if it was just a reference. I forgot to say that I also enjoyed the scene of Courtney making her suit. It gave me Spider-Man vibes. Although I just couldn't stop thinking about the fact that she didn't do anything to stop the security cameras from capturing her during that moment, so now the school could know that she's Stargirl. The open house scene was also really good and was apparently taken in one take. It revealed more of the strange things that are going on in the town, and we got our first looks at Artemis and the Fiddler. Speaking of the school, there was also a moment when Courtney was at the cafeteria and a guy looked back at her. I'm wondering if he's important or if it was just an extra because they seem to focus a bit too much on him. Finally, at the end, we had the arrival of Icicle, Starman's killer. First of all, I love the music choice, both here and earlier when S.T.R.I.P.E was training. I'm also intrigued where they will go with Icicle and the rest of the Injustice Society, who all seem to be very important people in the town. I wonder if they view their plan as something good that's gonna help the town, or if they're just evil. But it looks like for now they think S.T.R.I.P.E was the one that put Brainwave in the coma, so he's in danger next episode. Overall, this was a good continuation to the premiere. It immediately got back into the story, and there was not one dull moment. It really felt like a two-parter. I would give this episode an 8 out of 10 just because there were some confusing bits, but otherwise it was great. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for similar content. Thanks for watching. Bye.